What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another trucking vlog. This is your boy Luis, aka Wolf Friday. It's been a while. I know it's been a while, but we're gonna get back to the videos. We're getting back to the road. So we're getting back to the road after a month. Right as of this time. Last time you guys saw any video was probably the last video that I put in. I think it was the one about us being on vacation in Puerto Rico, Ashley and I, and that's the last videos you guys saw from there. But we're back on the road. After that, we definitely went back on the road. I know there's probably a lot of questions. Where you been? I've been gotten messages about whether I'm still with TSH. You know, have I been all right? Why I stopped recording video? And I'll explain that on this video as best I can without dragging on too much. But I mean, just to bring everything down to concise, between the time we came to vacation and October 4th, so that time, September, what was that? End of July, June, July, August. We took a couple of breaks in between there. We ran hard for 3 weeks, took another break, ran around 3 weeks, had to take another break, birthday parties and some engagements that I had. It's partially why I didn't record. I actually did record. Let me I did record. I just didn't have time. There was some mental things going on, and I didn't have the mentality to concentrate and edit video for you guys. So I do apologize for that. But I just kind of my mental health needed a break on certain things, and I couldn't do both things. I had to concentrate and manage some mental things going on. I'm sure some of you guys do understand, and if you don't understand, then I mean, it is what it is. But I appreciate you just hanging in there. I'm sure the channel's taken a little bit of a tumble down the last couple of months because I haven't been posting videos, but we're gonna get back on it, and I'm try it again, at least to the end of the year, till the holidays, and then we'll see how the start of the year goes. Right now I'm loaded, just got loaded. This is the first load right here, the week. Today's Tuesday, the day after Veterans Day, what's today? November 12th, I believe it is. So we're picking up this first load. Now, when I say until October 4th, I'll tell you guys what happened a little later on. But thanks for coming to the channel. If it's your first time, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome back. Appreciate it. This load, 4 crates. We got a long trip to start the week. It kind of get my feet wet back on the ground because, like I said, I'll explain a little later. If you know, you know. But we got to tarp this. It doesn't need to be fully covered, but we're going to throw our 8-footer in the front and a 6 in the back. And I've taken this load before. It's going to take me a minute to tarp it. And I want to get out of here as soon as possible. But before we do, it's Eli. Yeah, he's with us. If you guys miss Mr. Eli, he's still with us. Say hello, guys. Hello, guys. Yeah, I'm getting used to this again. Hello, guys. How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, he's still with us, and he's coming back with us. He's also getting used to being back in the truck, and you'll know about that later. But yeah, let me go ahead and secure this and tarp it. Let's go, buddy. Well, that's it right there, guys. Tarped up. I'll get you a little closer look. Whoa, you're too close there. Well, guys, that's where we at. We got to go get our paperwork. We got here around 11:30. They got us loaded very quickly. It's 1 o'clock, so it took us about an hour and 15 minutes, get everything done. I didn't pull the tarps like to the edge, to the rub rail with the bungees, because they stay like this in this position, and then they flap all over the place. So something that I did the last time, I'll show you here in a second. But we got to go get our paperwork. Let Mr. Eli do his thing outside before we take off. But we got to drive today. I want to drive at least 6, maybe 7 hours. Didn't want to drive too late, but we got here about an hour and a half later than I planned. Getting the stuff back in the truck, and getting things out of the house took me a little longer than I thought it would. And half of it, actually, part of it, I should have done it yesterday. But we're hanging out with friends. Last day at home. Honestly, didn't want to be at the truck doing things, but it is what it is. Not in a rush. We'll be fine. We're gonna go westbound. We're going to Las Vegas, baby. Las Vegas, yay! Now, not that. Wish it was a nice trip. I mean, it should be a nice trip. It's gonna be cold. I know Albuquerque last weekend had a winter storm on 40, but it's supposed to be sunny like it is right now. all the rest of this week. I checked the weather forecast all the way through Albuquerque, in between New Mexico and Las Vegas. Supposed to be good, Gallup and all that. So fingers crossed, no issues. The truck has all new tires at this point. PM done, DOT done on both, so everything's good. The only thing that was borderline was the brakes in the trailer. They're gonna need to be changed before our next PM. So, but let me get the paperwork done and then we'll get chatting as we're on the way. So stay tuned, let you know again what happened in October 4th and why now 11/12 is where we're getting back on the road. So. All right, guys, so we got our paperwork. We're about to head out. We're going slow here in the parking lot, like this warehouse, and somebody's backing in right in front of us. But we're gonna be heading out. It is 2 o'clock Central Time right now. So about an hour and a half later than I actually wanted to get out of here, but it is what it is, right? We do our best when we get going, so that's what we've been doing. Well, that's what we're doing today because we're just starting off. So we're gonna hit the road here. Just put in directions in the GPS, so it's all set. Where we heading up, you guys hear it. We got
Please drive to highlighted route.
Including today, about two and a half days to get over there. We'll deliver in this Friday morning. I just talked to the receiver as well. We'll get going. So let's hit the road and stay tuned. Well, just to tell you a little bit before I get going, I'll tell you real quick. Again, we took our vacation. I did run it. I did record it. I guess I apologize. I did not edit. But October 4th, I went home, and the PM was due on the truck. I was gonna be home for about a week. I dropped the trailer at MHC Kenworth in Knoxville to get the PM done because some rule change. In case you didn't know, by this time probably everybody knows in TSH, but in case you didn't, as of technically
in 1/4 mile
ago,
turn right on Murfreesboro Road.
We're able now to, we're not close to Nashville. We can get our PMs done out of Love's or at a dealership. So just got to call in and set it up. But let me get out of here. We're gonna get some miles behind us, and I'll catch up with you guys, and we'll continue the story of what happened after I drop it off. Fortunately,
in 1/4 mile, turn left on I-40 West.
Lots of traction there. Little lip on the road. Fortunately, we got to go through Nashville, and it's 2 o'clock, so hopefully not too much traffic. Because, man, we're getting warmed up. Driving the truck again. We're not too heavy, so it's good. It's only just under 20,000 pounds. Let's just say that. We got 4 crates on here.
Turn left on I-40 West.
So, not very heavy. Tell you what, I'm a little rusty on the shifting gears because I've been driving my Golf R at home, which is a 6-speed manual as well. But of course, shifting a car is not the same as shifting a semi, and it's going to take me today. I mean, I've driven a little bit, a couple hours getting out here to Laverne, Tennessee. It's where we picked up in Laverne, Tennessee. So we drove about 140 miles, if I'm not mistaken, out here. Just 137 miles to pick up, and it's taking me a little bit to get used to get my mind back in the truck sitting and shifting in the truck rather than shifting a Golf R. And yeah, hope you guys know what a GoFar is not. Go check it out. It's a 2016 GoFar that we got about 2 months ago now. 3 months ago now, actually. I think that's gotta warm me up a little bit here. What's up, guys? Welcome to the next morning. So it's Wednesday morning. We stopped here for 30. We'll be driving for a little bit. We stopped in Berkeley, Arkansas last night, and before we stopped, we did our 10-hour break there. Actually 12. Yeah, it was hard getting back on the road this morning. I put the alarm for, what was it, 5:15 in the morning. Nah, I didn't get up till like just before 7. So we got running around 7:40 this morning. We are already in Oklahoma, as you can tell with all the wind behind me. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying to keep the wind. It's pushing me. It's coming from behind me, it's going southeast bound. We're going east and west, going southeast. So we've been going since we got to, is it Okmulgee, somewhere, you know, past the border of Oklahoma. This wind, just like Kansas, it's been coming at an angle, and we've been losing, fucks up with our fuel savings. Because even though it's not that wide, it is tall. It's a little bit tall trailer, so it is like a wall, especially with the tarp on there. So, which, thanks to the wind, we have to fix a couple of things. Let me show you before I forget. So I'm gonna show you here real quick. So you can see I got the straps on this load over the top to help me hold it. Now most of the guys for the normal part will take, this is my 8-foot tarp and this is my 6-foot tarp. That's why here doesn't go all the way down. Here it goes more than enough on both sides. It's actually a little more on that side than it is on the driver's side. But you see these bungees right here? So there's 2 bungees hooked together. I got bungee going all the way under and across to the other side of the tarp. And I did this last time also, and it helps a lot keeping, you know, not every one as you can see, but every so often, these will bow out a little bit because the wind will get in anyway and push it out a little bit. And of course the straps helps keep it in focus, but it doesn't come all the way out here. So instead of doing like a canopy tent thing and pulling the strap all the way out here and bungeeing it from here and have that thing just constantly, you know, flapping all over the place, I tried this out last time and it worked great. This time I was trying, it hasn't worked the greatest, and I'm gonna show you. So, but I was trying to use some rope. I had a rope, and I said, well, instead of worrying about doing the bungees, hooking them up, because I did have to kind of put black tape. If you're wondering how I got them under it, because it's not a lot of space, yeah, I can see. But I had to use black tape to kind of hold them together so I can push them through and they wouldn't come apart at first. And then put them to the other side. It's actually 3 bungees. So I use, you know, spending some time putting the black tape in between to hold them and then push them to one of my stick and push it all the way across and then hook it on the other side. But I say, let me try to put some rope instead, because I had a big thing of rope, it's like, I'll be easier to push through. I can use rope, push it through. But unfortunately, what has happened, especially as it's gotten windier out here, which I still hope you guys can hear me with the microphone, it's pushed it over and over, and then fortunately this rope is not as protected, and the wood spin rubbing and cutting it. It's cut it already twice. I cut it last night. I tried to fix it a little bit, and this morning, this was actually, I want to say this was actually here on the rub rail, and I think I didn't think, or first time got cut up here. I don't remember exactly how I had it tight, but anyway, this part just broke right now. I just made a knot up there at that hook, but it's still too loose from the other side. So you can see it's fairly loose, so I need to make it tighter. And that's because of the wind here in Oklahoma. So it's kind of been stretching things out a little bit. I think this rope that I put here also stretched out. So this kind of came loose. Also here in the front, I think I had a bungee here and it broke, but it's been pushing it upwards. That's what it is. I had that pulling upward because I had another one here pulling downwards. So we're gonna get another bungee from here and probably pull down, because it's been pushing this. Now it's pulling upwards. Well, of course, when I'm driving, the wind is coming this way, straight on. Actually, it's coming from that angle this way as I'm driving westbound. It's pushing it this way, but it's just moving everything all over the place now because how windy it is. And hopefully you can see that tree, how it's moving. So it is, we have some gust winds right here. So I'm taking my 30-minute break, probably make it a 45-minute break or so, because I didn't want it to record for you guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. I'm putting some extra bungees around and just kind of hold it a little bit better so it doesn't get any worse going as we get out of this windy section of fucking Oklahoma. Oop. Sorry, I might put a beep on that, I might not, but get out of this windy section. And on the passenger side, which I haven't walked through, it's just as bad. Yeah. One thing I do need to do, guys, is I need to watch some rope knotting videos, because I was never a a scout. What's it called? A Boy Scout. So I didn't learn a lot of knots. So I do want to learn more knots. But just show you. So like this is a bungee from the other side, and it kind of holds it together. Here's the other one. Hold on, I hope you guys can see that right there. So it's just kind of holding it together. It's not to make it super tight, it's just keeping it from flopping. But it's so windy right here that it's making this backside, what I use the rope instead of the bungees, just worse. So I'm gonna have to throw some bungees. I got an idea, and hopefully that works. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll do that in a second after I stop recording. But that's, with this particular load, that's one thing I learned, because it's not wide to go all the way across. So I have something in my eye, it's fucking wind. It's not wide enough, and I didn't want that tent looking canopy. You have to use more bungees, and it still flaps even more when the wind. So I just try to wrap it as a little present. The reason that it has to be tarp is not necessarily to protect the crate. It's on a crate. There are heaters. What we're loading is 4 heaters. The reason of the tarp is they have the heaters wrapped in plastic, and they don't want that plastic to be all broken up before it gets to the customer. So that's why they asked for the tarps. Yeah, I did have to climb up there. I wanted to record that, but my cameras were all set up. We're not fully set up. And I was having an issue with my Insta360 action camera with the memory card. I put a different memory card than what it had before, and it didn't want to set itself up to start recording, and so I had to switch them back. That's what I figured, but that was when I was done. But that's why I didn't record it. But I was going to try to record and bring you guys, first-person view with me while I threw the tarps from up there. because it's actually, like you can see right here, it's not fully covered. You know, it's not a crate. It's like 2x6 and 2x4s built kind of crate. So it's only like 3 bars, one on the sides, right? So you got the corners and there's one in the middle that I have to walk through. So there's holes in between. So yeah, if it was a little windy, it would be sketchy up there. It was not too windy, but it was a good day at all. But definitely being up there, throwing the tarps, you want to be careful. You don't want to fall down from up there. So I wanted to take you guys with that. Maybe next time I do it, I'm able to take you guys with me as I'm climbing up there, throwing these tarps down. But that's what we got going on. Not to kind of finish up this video, I want to also talk about what happened. I said a little earlier what happened on October 4th when I took the truck to Kenworth. So a couple of things we got done. We had to get the PM done on the truck, which was due on the 10th of October. TSH changed the rules, if you didn't know, but they changed it the week before, the 1st of October, that we were now able, instead of, let me get my thoughts together, I apologize. Before we had to take, you guys heard me say a lot of times, I've always had to go to Nashville and get my PM done. But as of October, they let us take the truck. They changed the rules. So if you were not close to Nashville, you could take the truck either to Love's to get your PM and DOT done for both trailer and the truck, or you can drop it out of Kenworth dealership and have them do the PM and the DOTs. Some of them do not do the DOT on the trailer, so you have to take it to, Petro, whatever, anywhere else, authorized dealer to get the DOT done and approved by TSH. So I live in Knoxville. There's an MHC in Knoxville. I decided to take it there. Second reason I decided to take it there to get the PM done was I had an engine light, and I think I recorded on this before, but I didn't post it. I had an engine light already for like the last couple of months since I came from Puerto Rico. They came on, not an emergency. I invested in a coder, which I'll show you guys later, because I wanted to know what the issue was and not just depend on anybody to tell me what it was, what the code was coming up, but at least have a decent idea of where the problem was starting and coming from. And it was the heater line 1 on the DEF system. So I talked to a mechanic friend of mine, through a friend of mine that has a mechanic down in Florida. Thanks for the info. And they basically said, yeah, you had the heater 1, it's an electronic thing, probably the issue. You're gonna really have somebody, with a common software to really check on it. So I figured, okay, so it's gonna end up going to the dealership to get that done. I'll take it before winter starts. It's still summer when it started, and I didn't have to worry too much about it. So that was my plan, but because they changed this rule, my plan was to take it like after Thanksgiving, maybe even Christmas, depending how the weather was doing, but it was like Thanksgiving break. I would take it and drop it off, then have them fix it in. So I'm kind of glad, in a way, maybe the day it happened now. It happened when it happened, I guess before holidays. It could have gone either way, I guess. But since I had to drop it to get the PM done and there instead, and that's what I chose to do instead of going to Nashville. I was home since the 4th. I said, hey, Kenworth has this light, has this issue, this is what I came up with, just giving me heads up, what's the code. I checked the fuses and stuff myself, and they all look good, but of course it's something further that I couldn't diagnose, the experience of the tools. So that took him a whole month. Long story short, guys, they changed. First week after dropping off, they had to order heater line 1. The heater line had to be ordered. That took a week. Then after that, they're still troubleshooting. They changed the resistor and everything because it wasn't getting power still. And at the end of that second week, I get told the harness for the system not getting any power. So they had to order that. That's week 2 already. At that point, I am concerned because, as you guys know, we're on the LP. So that means, deductions are there every week. And I've been out to, I've been home 3 weeks max, and then get back on the road and could be a catch up within a week and a half-ish, catch back up without having to worry about it. But that wasn't my plan at this moment. My plan was to be home just for a week and get back on the road before Thanksgiving. And of course, before the end of the month, because, you got bills. The bills never stop at home, and also this. So now that was week 2. That kind of messed up the plans. Going to week 3. Week 3, it takes another week before I hear anything else. And what I heard the third time was that they were still troubleshooting, because even though they had put the new hard disk, they were not getting any power to it, so they were troubleshooting that. So it was in the shop technically 3.5 weeks. No, about 4 weeks it was in the shop. Unfortunately, the truck's deductions kept adding up towards TSH, plus the bill for the mechanic, which I'll talk in the next video as well. And then the bill for the repair, but also was in the hole. And 2 weeks prior to that, 2 weeks prior to going home, we got the last 4 tires for the axle on the trailer, brand new tires. So 4 brand new tires that got put on, and then they repair on the shop. PM had to do a front wheel alignment, which is another thing that I asked him to do while I was in there, because the noise, I think I've told you this before, maybe on Instagram, but I also had my U-bolt on the driver's side started making noise, squeaky noise, crackling noise, especially when I turned to the right, and it just kept predominantly getting worse. And I confirmed with a mechanic when we got the tires what I was told by other friends and told by 806 driver. There was probably the U-bolt, the shims in the U-bolt that were not tight, the bolts were not tight fully, and they started getting loose. A little bit enough to start making noise when I turned the wheel to the right, especially because it didn't do it to the left, but it did it to the right where that weight was on there, especially when I was loaded. So had to do the front wheel alignment. That fixed that issue. So the truck itself right now is running great. PM is done. All the filters have changed. Front wheel alignment. All new tires. Pretty much. I mean, we changed these already before, but they're all good condition tires. They've been changed. They're good tires. Next was coming up. And the one thing I think I should have scheduled somehow to get done at the same time, just to add to the headache. But the next 90 days, we're gonna have to change those brakes, all 4 of them. We passed the DOT, but right a little bit above the threshold. So yeah, those gotta be changed next, before the next DOT service. Like I said, in the next video, I'll talk about how TSH, because I'm still in the process of talking to them right now. And even though I normally don't talk about finances, at least I want to give you an idea if you're planning to come to TSH or you're with TSH right now, or just for informational basis. They are working with me on surviving. Just going to be real. It's not that I had all that money in the bank and I paid for everything. No, I don't. I've talked about that. I wish I would have saved a little bit more when I first started, or a lot more when I started. I didn't make the decisions, so I'm being honest, real. This is my life story, my mistakes. Learn from my mistakes. When you can, save for the money. But TSH basically pays up front, and then they take it out of my settlements. But being that I am also a month and a week technically behind on deductions, that's an add-on expense now that we're figuring it out. So talked to them again this morning, since I finally got on the road yesterday, because that was a requirement to at least have a load already on me and be back on the road before we kind of move forward talking about things. So once I talk to them, I would inform you guys, give you as much information as possible while I still feel my privacy is kept, to kind of tell you how they were helping me out, or how we're going to handle things going forward until I catch up and how everything's getting paid. But technically, yeah, bottom line, I'm paying for everything, right? I'm responsible. This is my truck and trailer. Whether you agree or don't agree with that, with the whole owner-op mentality, you can get in the comments or whatever you think, but I'm still paying for it, right? Yeah, all that's being paid and it's gonna come out of my pocket. They pay it up front, and then I get whatever discounts I get through them, and then I gotta basically pay it back to them, and that's what we're gonna work out. So in the sense that I can still pay my bills, because our bills never stop, and I can still survive, and I can feel comfortable with trucking and the hustle that I'm making. Guys, I only have about 2 years, or a little less than 2 years, should be, but let's say 2 years still, because May was 3 years, so I have, let's say 2 years. 2 years left to finish paying this off, and that's why I'm holding on to. You know, I almost made a video that I thought about quitting through the last few months that we haven't talked. Yeah, there was a lot of thought about quitting and what I shouldn't, but that, you know, how it's going to affect Ashley and I and our plans and other things. So, but as you can see, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. We're still trucking. We're not going anywhere. We're going to hustle. We're going to work through it. But yeah, I got, you know, roughly 2 years or less to finish paying this off. So, you know, fingers crossed. I still babying, no major issues. This was not a major issue, which I'm glad. But everything's in spaceless nowadays, but it's not a major issue. So as long, you know, no major issues happen with the engine, that's some fingers crossed. I'm still babying, keep the maintenance up to date, you know, drive it properly, not abuse it, and all the things so this truck lasts and have no major issues so I can pay it off. Find a different warranty on it and all the things that I can extend the warranty that unfortunately I've been talking to people about finding other warranties that we can add after the fact. Things that could help me after I paid off. So that's the idea, boys and girls, or guys and gals. You know, it's not offending anybody. But that's what's been going on. That's what happened. That's why I was out at least from the October 4th to November 12th. Which was yesterday, that I finally got back on the road. Like I said, I'll give you more information on how we're working out deductions and things, and how's all that actually work out with TSH, because yeah, it's coming out of my pocket, but it's not like I had, you know, 15 grand to just not worry about it. I should have, like you say, maybe in a perfect world, I should have had that money to be able to cover it, and or at least cover half of it or whatever, most of it, and not have to worry too much about it. But unfortunately I didn't. So I'm the average mid-grade American who's just working his ass off and trying to survive in this economy and the state that this country's in. Hopefully the next 4 years, next 8 years, we're able to survive what's coming. Whatever it is what it is right now. So just want to drop the video here. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. We're back. We're gonna get moving with the videos rolling. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for any new subscribers through this time that I haven't posted new videos, or if you subscribe just as I stop putting videos, I apologize, but we're gonna get back rolling here. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow me there. You can reach out on Instagram at WolfRider750. You can find me there as well through Instagram. Social media is in the description. I definitely appreciate it. And if this is one of your first videos and you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. If you've lasted this long, you can definitely consider subscribing, and I will put in more videos. And it's the only way. It's free. It's how it helps the channel and continue to help the channel grow. It's not like I make this not a living or make money out of this. I don't. I do it because I love it, but I definitely would love your support to grow the channel. And comment below. Let me know how you guys have been hanging out and doing. Have you had any major issues with your truck this summer? Are you with TSH? Are you dealing with something similar? How's it working out? Feel free to contact me, email me if you want to chat as well. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Sometimes I do miss some emails till later on. But if you message me on Instagram, also might miss it because it goes through a request, and unless I'm going through there and see it, that there's a request for a message, for a direct message. Sometimes I miss it for a few days, but as soon as I see it, I reach out. So be patient with me. For those that have, I appreciate it. But again, support, hit that like button if you haven't yet, and we'll see you on the next video. Wolf Rider out. Peace.